ॐ कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतः क्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गीं राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरीं वृषभानुसुते देवी तं नमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमस्त्रिकालसत्याय जगन्नाथसुताय च सभृत्याय सपुत्राय सकलत्राय ते नमः। जय रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ শ্রীজীব গোপাল ভট্ট দাস রঘুনাথ। এ ছয় গোসাইয়ের করি চরণ বন্দন, যাহা হইতে বিঘ্ন নাশ অভীষ্ট পূরণ। ওম স্থাপকায় চ ধর্মস্য সর্বধর্মস্বরূপিণে अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the devotees of the Lord, all glories to the acharyas, to the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome back to our series on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is our second part. In our first part, what we discussed was an introduction to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We also discussed the historical context behind the writing of this great text. Let's speak about the author of this text today, because a short introduction to the text as well as to the author of the text is necessary, to fully appreciate a text, mainly a text so great as this one. So yesterday I think we discussed how Sri Kaviraj Goswami, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj, the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, was compelled by the direct commands of Sri Radha Madan Mohan ji to start writing about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life. Today what we want to discuss is a bit of a sketch of the life of Sri Kaviraj Goswami. He was born at a place called Jhamotpur. This is a small village. Till now it's a small village. It's very near to Katwa, as well as it's quite near to Naihati. Both the places, as you know, as well as Jhamotpur, the village where Sri Kaviraj Goswami hailed from, are in West Bengal, current West Bengal. So Kaviraj Goswami was born in a Vaishnava family. His family members as well as he were devoted to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he had an exposure to the Vaishnava culture and to the worship of Sri Radha Govind from the very beginning of his life. Now, what happened or what incident took place which compelled him to leave his home and start the life of a renunciate, it's a very interesting one, So, Kaviraj Goswami, the difference between Kaviraj Goswami and the time frame in which Sri Chaitanya was present is not very much. It's just a few decades. So in his house in Jhamotpur village, there was once a kirtan held. As you know, there is a custom in most of the Vaishnava houses, as well as common houses, which were not Vaishnavas, in the houses of householders in Bengal, that yearly or annually they would perform a Sankirtan Yagna, that is chanting of the holy names of the Lord, and it would carry on for 24 hours. So for 24 hours, day in like, and day out, uh, there will be this Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan in the house. There will be seva of Sri Radha Govind, and the Vaishnavas will be invited, other devotees and relatives would be invited, and there would be feast, and prasadam would be fed to each and everyone. So that is a custom in the Vaishnava Bengali families. So, in a similar such occasion, Sri Kaviraj Goswami's elder brother, Sri Gunarnav Mishra, uh, had arranged for such a Sankirtan Yagna in the house of Jhamatpur. And there were many Vaishnavas invited. Along with them, one of the associates of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, his name was Sri Meenketan Ramdas, who was also invited as a guest in the Sankirtan Yagna. So when Meenketan Ramdas arrived at Jamutpur at the house of Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj, now he was an exalted devotee. He was a parshad of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. He was one of the eternal cowherd boys of Vrindavan. He was always in his ecstatic mood. Minkatan Ramdas used to carry, a stick, he used to carry a flute, he used to carry something called a shinga. This is how he would signal a shinga, which is, a horn, like it is a instrument, a blowing instrument, which is made from the horn of the buffalo. It's used by the cowherd boys to call on for the cows. So he used to carry a shinga along with him. So he was completely absorbed in the mood of a cowherd boy of Vrindavan, who is a friend of Sri Krishna and Balaram. And in that mood, he would profusely shed tears. Sometimes he would become stiff as stone. Sometimes his whole body would tremble like a banana leaf. So these were the ecstatic moods that he was completely absorbed in 24 hours. And then he would sometimes roar, taking the name of Lord Nityananda. So, on seeing these ecstatic moods of Meenketan Ramdas, Sri Gunarnav Mishra, the elder brother of Kaviraj Goswami, was not, very pleased. He felt a bit uneasy that, it would be better if we had not called this person in our house. So, whenever someone would bow down to Sri Meenketan Ramdas, he would either, put his feet on the head of that devotee, or he would just climb up the shoulders of that devotee, or just slap the back of the devotee. They were all like his gestures of bestowing, boons, spiritual boons on the devotees. But many couldn't comprehend this behavior of such an exalted soul. So, what happened is that although all others in the house had, bowed down to Sri Menkatan Ramdas, had welcomed him, but the pujari of Sri Radha Govind, who was the priest in the house, who was designated to perform the rituals for the worship of the divine couple, he didn't greet Sri Menkatam Ramdas, and Ramdas was a bit off with this behavior of his. And then what happened is that at the end of the Sankirtan Yagna, there was a discussion between Sri Meenketan Ramdas and the elder brother of Sri Kaviraj Goswami, where the elder brother of Kaviraj Goswami clearly stated that he didn't like Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So, although the elder brother of Kaviraj Goswami had devotion to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he didn't like Nityananda Prabhu. So once Sri Meenketan Ramdas, an associate of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, heard this from the mouth of the elder brother of Kaviraj Goswami, he was very sad. He was very disappointed. He got angry. He just broke the stick that cowherd boys carry with them. He also used to carry a stick with them because he was in the mood of the cowherd boy of Vrindavan all the time. So, in anger on hearing such a comment about Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Meenketan Ramdas just broke that stick in front of him and went away from the house of Kaviraj Goswami in Jamatpur. So, on seeing the whole incident, Kaviraj Goswami was just a silent spectator at that point of time. So, on hearing about the comments passed by his elder brother on Nityananda Prabhu, and on seeing such an incident happening in his house, he just bursted in anger and said to his brother that, "Are you mad? That you make a difference between Sri Gaur and Sri Nityananda? They are both the same. They are both essentially the same personality, just existing in two different bodies. You say you have a devotion to Gaur Hari and you don't like Sri Nityananda? What kind of hypocrisy is this?" So that's how he somewhat scolded his elder brother on this matter and was very disappointed. And what we get to know from Sri Kaviraj Goswami himself in Chaitanya Charitamrita is that after this incident took place in his house, his brother, his elder brother, was completely devastated. Now, whether he was financially devastated or he was, devastated health wise, or it was his spiritual life that got completely devastated, we don't know. That has not been mentioned by Kaviraj Goswami in the text. But there is a very significant incident that took place at that night in the life of Sri Kaviraj Goswami. So, once he went to sleep in his room, so he had the divine vision in a dream. He had a divine vision of Sri Nityananda Prabhu along with all his associates. In the dream, Sri Nityananda Prabhu blessed Sri Kaviraj Goswami in the dream by putting his lotus feet on Kaviraj Goswami's head and instructing him to leave everything and go to Vrindavan. And just specifically said to Kaviraj Goswami that Vrindavan jaho jaha sarbo lobho hoy. That's the exact words of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Go to Vrindavan, you will achieve everything there. So once Kaviraj Goswami's dream broke, he instantly understood that this is the divine command from Sri Nityananda Prabhu himself, that leave everything, go to Vrindavan and do your sadhana. So he at once left his home, proceeded to Vrindavan, came here to Vrindavan, got the shelter of the six Goswamis, got the association of all the exalted devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he resided in Vrindavan till his last breath. And what all did he not get? He got the direct vision of the divine couple Sri Radha Govind in the Rashasthali of Vrindavan. He got the divine association of the devotees. He got to see the divine deities that had been manifested by the sadhana and by the mercy of the six Goswamis like Sri Govind Dev Ji, Sri Madan Mohan Ji, Sri Gopinath Ji. He used to have daily darshans of these divine deities. And he had the Dhamavas, the great fortune of living in the Dham. So what else can anyone ask for? He achieved everything in his life. So that's a brief overview of the life of Sri Kaviraj Goswami. And in Vrindavan, not only did he did his sadhana, but he was an erudite scholar in Sanskrit, Nyaya, and many other philosophical systems of Indian education. He not only wrote Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita was his last work and most significant work in Bengali, obviously. But he had also written book on the Ashtayam Leela of the divine couple. That is, what does the divine couple Radha and Krishna do in the eternal Vrindavan in a 24-hour span. It has been elaborately described and discussed by Sri Kaviraj Goswami Pad in Sri Govind Leelamrit. So Govind Leelamrit is the go-to text for anyone who wants to meditate upon the divine Leelas, the everyday divine Leelas of Sri Radha Govind. So that is a great work by Sri Kaviraj Goswami. He also wrote a commentary on Vilvamangal Thakur's Sri Krishna Karnamrita. Now, Sri Krishna Karnamrita for any Gaudiya Vaishnava devotee is one of the basic texts that he should learn. Sri Krishna Karnamrita was written by Vilva Mangal Thakur. Vilva Mangal Thakur was, was a devotee from the south of India. Although he was born in the Maharashtra, specifically in the Maharashtra-Karnataka border, at a place near to the Sangam of Krishna Venna, like the Krishna river and the Venna river, they just meet at a point that is called the Krishna Venna Sangam. That is the place where Sri Vilvamangal Thakur was born. This place is near Satara in Maharashtra, and so from there he traveled to Kerala, to the mainly to the Thrissur district of Kerala, where he spent the rest of his life. And this Sri Krishna Karnamrita is such an exalted text by such an exalted devotee of the Lord, that understanding its modes, grasping its modes, is not it's not the work for any ordinary materialistic people like us. Sri Vilvamangal Thakur used to have a constant vision of Sri Govind, and like he would address directly the Lord, and verses, Sanskrit verses would come out from his mouth, and people would write it down. And when all these verses were compiled, that's what gave birth to this book named Sri Krishna Karnamrita. So, as the book implies, this words or this verses spoken by the pure devotee of the Lord, Sri Vilva Mangal Thakur, they are like nectar even to the ears of the Lord himself, even to the ears of Sri Krishna. The words of Sri Vilva Mangal Thakur are like nectar. So the book has been named Sri Krishna Karnamrita, nectar to the ears of Sri Krishna. And Sriman Mahaprabhu, came to know about this book at the Krishna Venna Sangam, when he was traveling across the southern India for 2 years after he took sannyas and came to Puri. He had left for travel of South India over foot. So when he came to the Karnataka Maharashtra border at the Krishna Venna Sangam, he heard Brahmin priests chanting this Sri Krishna Karnamritam in a temple. So from there he got the text. He got a copy of the text done right there by a Brahmin priest, and brought it back to Puri when he came back from his travel to South India. And Sri Krishna Karnamrita had been with the Lord for the rest of his life. He would always sing Sri Krishna Karnamrita. He would make his confidential associates like Sri Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai to recite from Sri Krishna Karnamrita, so that he can listen and he can absorb the bliss of the text. So that is the importance of Sri Krishna Karnamrita. And Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, also wrote a commentary on Sri Krishna Karnamrita. The name of the commentary is Sri Saranga Rangada Tika. That's the name of the commentary, Saranga Rangada Tika. So it's not that Kaviraj Goswami had just written Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. He has many other contributions to the Gaudiya Vaishnava literature. And such Vaishnavas are not only a blessing to a specific sect, they are blessing for the whole humanity, right? So that's a brief introduction to the author and a brief sketch of the life of the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. I had hoped that I would start with the text today, but what I feel is that that would be just diverging to a different topic, which is not good in a single video. But one thing that I would like to point out is that one, because now we know a brief sketch about the life of the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, that what compelled him to come to Vrindavan. See, if he had not come to Vrindavan, he would not have the association of the direct associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He would not have the blessings of the six Goswamis. He would not have become the erudite scholar in Sanskrit and other philosophical systems of Indian education system that he was. So what was the source of all this which made him ready, which made him fit for becoming the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you had listened carefully to the life of Sri Kaviraj, it was the direct command of Sri Nityananda Prabhu that made him leave his house and come to Vrindavan. So it is the kripa, the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu which flowed through Sri Kaviraj Goswami and ultimately made him write Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is Nityananda Kripa itself. It's the personified form of the mercy of Lord Nityananda towards all devotees of the Lord. And mind you, that the first authentic biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, written by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur, was also written on the direct command of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Because Vrindavan Das Thakur was the disciple of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and also had associated with many direct devotees of Sri Chaitanya. So you see, both the texts, the main Bengali texts related to the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they somewhere draw their inspiration from Sri Nityananda Prabhu. He is the source of all the mercy. He is the Guru, he is the Acharya of all sentient beings who takes us back to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, yes, we pray to Sri Nityananda Prabhu to have his blessings on us so that we may get a drop of the nectar of devotion that he has bestowed upon the whole of humanity. Jai Nitai, Jai Jai Nitai, Jai Nitai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.